An emergency fund here in the Adirondacks to help schools and nonprofits feed thousands of families and assist essential workers during the coronavirus pandemic has now awarded nearly $750,000 in aid. The Cloud Splitter and Adirondack Foundation's Special and Urgent Needs Fund has given out 125 grants, mostly to help families through the pandemic with basic needs like food and childcare. The fund has helped several school districts deliver tens of thousands of meals to students and their families. And we're joined now by Andrea Grout with the Adirondack Foundation and Chanel Palacewaite from the Cloud Splitter Foundation. Thank you both for being here. We appreciate it. Why did the partners who created the Sun Fund decide to reactivate it early on, very early on during this pandemic?
Adirondack Foundation and the Cloud Splitter Foundation connected early with the United Way of the Adirondack region, and we engaged many other Adirondack funders as well to talk about this unprecedented crisis we were seeing. And, because we recognized that this is something really unique that none of us had ever really encountered, we anticipated there being huge needs, and we knew that we must be really quick and nimble in our response to help people. And Adirondack Foundation knows from our past experience during the Hurricane Irene back in 2011, when we first created the Special and Urgent Needs Fund, also known as the Sun Fund, that we could respond in an emergency and help with direct funding where it was needed most. So we had done this before, and it just made sense. Our communities need each other during a crisis, and reactivating the Sun Fund seemed to be the perfect mechanism to do that.
You've been able to help a number of people, especially when it comes to food insecurity?
Yes, in terms of food assistance, we've supported food banks, food pantries, meal delivery for daily living support, those rural communities without access to a local grocery store, and then those local distribution solutions such as churches, schools, farmers hubs, and restaurants.
As we begin to reopen, do you think the priorities may change? You may see different types of needs?
Thinking the fund priorities will likely evolve as our region adapts. Initially, we recognized the need and importance of providing those immediate resources for urgent needs, where there were gaps in government support. As time's going on, we're recognizing the importance for those recovery resources to ensure some resilience in our communities. So, with these things in mind, Cloud Splitter, Adirondack Foundation, and other funders are really looking at what might be needed in the next phases of recovery.
And things that will be the new normal that we'll have in our schools and in our businesses, the PPE and other things like that are going to be required as part of reopening.
There's really just still so much uncertainty in the coming months. We're hearing from grant applicants that even with the reopening, they're anticipating having a difficult summer. Many people might not be able to go back to work. Organizations are preparing for reopening. We're beginning to see requests for things like thermometers, personal protective equipment, sanitation supplies, basically the things that are additional unbudgeted costs.
We want to be able to invest in systems change where it's possible. We understand that there are so many systemic, issues and problems that were already an issue before this pandemic took place, but we would love to be able to be part of that long-term solution in the ways that we can. And we don't exactly know what that looks like yet, but we are thinking about it and trying to look forward to down the road ways that we can maybe make some of the systemic contributions to make it better and make us better ready for what happens next. And we never know when a next crisis is coming, so it's important to be nimble and help respond where philanthropy can make a difference.
And Callie Brooks, she mentioned that looking especially at broadband, this really drives home the critical need of broadband across the North Country throughout the Adirondacks. And yes, it's been an issue that steps have been taken. Many have prioritized it and said more still needs to be done. But I think many would agree that this crisis has really driven home just how critical it is, and that there are still pockets where people do not have broadband for a variety of reasons, and that many people believe that needs to be a priority.
Absolutely. That's definitely one of the big ones we've been seeing, requests from schools to help with that because, they have students who can't access the internet and they can't do distance learning if they can't access it. And technology needs for schools is another thing. I know that Senator Gillibrand is working on some of those issues as well. And, we're taking a bigger picture look at the food system and the food access system in the North Country and trying to kind of dig into that a little bit deeper as well to try to understand what those needs are and how we can maybe help with that. So yeah, between technology and internet access, and those are just a few of the things that we're hoping to be able to make a dent in if we can.
For the partners, it must be incredibly satisfying to be able to help so many nonprofits and individuals during these extraordinary times.
Oh, I am so passionate about this. Anyone that knows me, that's ever heard me talk about my job over the last handful of years, knows how much I love it. It's just an incredible blessing to be able to help people every day. These nonprofits, individuals, they're just really the lifeblood of our community. And I just feel in many ways, this crisis has brought out the best in all of us. While we've been witnessing sacrifice literally from all corners of society, neighbors are helping neighbors and people are really looking out for each other. We see hope and faith and solidarity on display every day, and it's just so powerful.
It's really incredible, and it makes me grateful every day that this is the work that I get to do. And at Adirondack Foundations, we see it every day. So many people are always struggling, and this is one really meaningful way that we're able to serve our community. And we get to work with so many incredibly generous people and donors who want to help their neighbors. It's really what it's all about, and trying to make life a little bit better for people. And so I just would love to say to all the people who've made the Sun Fund possible and the support we've been able to give back to this community, I just say a huge, profound thank you.
Andrea Graup, Chanel Palisway, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us. We appreciate it.